gentlemen, welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. Good news! This podcast is officially deemed essential by the Welsh Government. Anyway, joke goes right over their heads. Anyway, I'll explain it later. So, by a curious quirk of fate, my pick this week is rather more like one of Jerry's picks. It's the Web Planet.
Yay!
I'm still not quite sure how I feel after watching the Web Planet.
I don't think any of us are.
But anyway, here are my two usual co-hosts. Firstly, he completed the second DLC of Pokemon Sword and Shield in a single day, because of course he did. It's Freezing Inferno.
Whoop 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 whoop.
Yes, that's Zarby for I have us too soon. Ha 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 ha. Add to my virtual right. You throw me there. Add to my virtual right. She would burn the earth itself just to kill a single spider. It's Concave Usurper, better known as Kat.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien.
What?
Bonjour.
I'm practicing for if I have to leave the country after the third.
Oh my god.
I tell you to come this way, except we've got all the borders locked down.
Yeah, this is gonna be funny. It's probably the first time that we're trying to get asylum in Mexico instead of Mexico trying to get asylum.
And so have we. If you want to fly over to the Atlantic and come to the UK, you can't.
I will find a boat and row my way someplace.
And then you get picked up by the Coast Guard.
By the way, if anybody's listening who's from the US and you haven't voted yet, for fuck's sake, go fucking vote right now. Seriously, you may think your vote doesn't count, but it fucking does. Go out there and do it right now. You have until the 3rd.
I mean, the lines, the sheer lines of people that have been queuing up to vote early is just incredible.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I did? I went online, I entered in my information, I got a ballot sent to me through the mail, I sent the ballot back, it's all done, completed. It's not hard.
Excellent.
Good work. So
yeah, this.
You said it. You said it. This would be something that I would pick, except that, well, I'll tell you that the first time I watched it, which was just a scant couple of months ago, I was just like, you know that one Simpsons meme of Krusty the Clown just going, "What the hell was that?"
Yeah.
It is just.
It's the weirdest thing. It really is.
Like, you haven't seen Underwater Menace yet, but Underwater Menace, the fish people aren't in it as much as you'd think. They're definitely weird, and they have like one weird scene in the episode that's iconic, and I love it. The fish people strike, which we'll see one day. But the rest of the episode is, it's running around Atlantis, and there's strange stuff, but it's not quite as strange. The Web Planet is like if the entire thing was the fish people strike. The Web Planet is just... What in the fuck?
When was this episode premiered again?
1965.
Ah, so the age of hippies and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Just saying. That
somebody might have...
There may have been like some certain acids that were premiered in this that may not have been technically the one on the planet. Just saying.
So this, I don't really have any like history lesson for this one.
I don't know one thing about this. This was the highest rated serial of the William Hartnell era.
Oh my god!
I can see why.
the most viewers in the William Hartnell era.
Well, that's intriguing.
13.5 million.
Wow.
13.5 million people in the 60s.
Yeah, because the Daleks debut got about 10 million.
Well, again, all of those drugs that were hanging around. Just saying.
Yeah.
So let's try and analyze this thing.
If we can.
It's another Ian Barbara Vicky TARDIS team story. And
Yeah.
I like this team. I'd say they're the best William Hartnell era TARDIS team.
Well, they tend to be the team that's got the most surviving serials in full.
Well, I'd say so. I think they're only missing one. But then again, so is Ian Barbara Susan.
They're missing the one that came before this. They're missing the one that came after this.
After? Wait, what?
The Crusades.
The Crusade came after this. What one came before?
The Romans.
No, that exists.
Oh. Okay.
I've seen it.
Yeah, because the opening scene, I think, is from the Romans.
Yeah, they did this a lot. Like 60s Doctor Who, William Hartnell or Doctor Who definitely led into each other a lot.
I
rather
know
than
this
being
isn't the point of the
self-contained.
podcast, but when you said the Crusade, I immediately thought of like this South Park joke where they're looking at star constellations, and they point to like a single star in the sky, and then this image of like this humongous battle pops up, and they're like, the Crusades.
Oh God!
South Park made a funny
yeah.
joke. It's a miracle.
Well, this was like 20 years ago, South Park. So
Yeah.
South Park made a funny joke. It's a miracle.
Topical.
Yeah.
Actually,
So-
was there a time when South Park wasn't topical?
I know.
Hmm.
And then PC Principle happened.
Yeah, that's
I know a lot of things happen.
yeah. But we're in the web planet, and we're leading on from the end of the Romans, which I'll have some things to say because part one does sort of play on that. But a mysterious force is dragging the TARDIS off course. Whatever could it be?
Oh no.
And yeah, we should mention again that since most of the William Hartnell era has distinct episode titles instead of just The Web Planet Episode 1, The Web Planet Episode 1 has a distinct title called
The Web Planet.
How original.
Mm-hmm. So, Rainiac, you picked this baby, so let's see some of
I had to do the heavy lifting this week, do I? Well, shit. Okay, so
I could do it if you don't want.
no, it's okay, it's okay. I will take on this burden that I've created for myself.
This is the responsibility to be the one who chooses the Gonzo Doctor Who.
Yeah, but I didn't realise I was picking the Gonzo Doctor Who.
You should have when I cackled like an idiot.
I just picked a story I hadn't seen before that I heard was actually rather good.
Well,
I've
you
seen
got
the
something.
images, and even I knew that it would be Gonzo shit.
I didn't even see the images. I went in completely blind.
So when I linked the picture of the web planet internally, you're like, oh God!
Yeah, internal screaming.
Ah! So
Internal Kermit
Go
the Frog freak out.
that's funny you mentioned that because I think what I said to you is that this is so Gonzo, the Muppets should sue for copyright infringement.
Well, we'll get to the bit that they should sue in a little bit. That's in part 2, but
Right.
we start with some scenes inside the TARDIS. So Vicky is affected by this ultrasonic noise, which is basically like the hum or the buzz. Yes, that's a real thing. Look it up. Where younger people can sometimes hear like a buzzing in their ears. That's not really there.
Right.
No, I mean that makes sense because apparently, people of different ages can actually hear different frequencies, and even between men and women, you can hear different frequencies as well.
Yeah. Which is one of the reasons why that Yenny Laurel experiment actually, works. It's one of the principles behind it.
Oh, that. Oh, God, that.
That different people hear different things. But anyway, but the ultrasonic noise is not actually the hum. It's caused by a giant ant.
The Zarbi! Here they are.
We immediately jump to the Gonzo.
So, Rainiac, put a Zarbi on screen, full feet, and make sure the legs are visible on
Yeah,
this Zarbi.
the legs are
because
just
they
human legs.
It's just a guy hunched over wearing a giant fiberglass like ant costume, but the legs are they got like a little insecty legs, but then the legs are just very clearly human.
They could have used puppetry, but no, it's just like a guy in a fiberglass ant costume.
Oh, there's a bit of like puppetry. It's not puppetry, but it's model work in part 2 that made me giggle.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Zarbi. God love them.
They don't get named until like the second or third part, but these are the Zarbi.
Put that in. Put that in.
Tell
What?
me I'm
I haven't
wrong.
said.
That's pretty much exactly what it's like.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Although I will say that's not my favorite one. My favorite one is this monstrosity.
Oh no.
Oh Lord.
It's so
This is-
big.
This is even.
Yes, all right. I'll put that in as well.
What the fuck? Right.
My favorite part about that, the second one, is because of the way it's been taken. The person in the background's legs are sticking out the neck,
Oh my god.
so it looks like it has 2 sets of human legs.
So, at this point, we're also introduced to not just the Zarbi, but the way the Zarbi sound.
Oh yeah, beep
which
boop.
is-
Like they broke
well,
my
it's not
fingers.
even beat boop. It's just, oh God, I can't even. Whoop whoop.
Yeah, you were doing it for the introduction just fine.
No. I was doing the second one. The second one's the alarm sound. Of
Oh
the
god.
Zarbi. Yeah. So the Zarbi, mainly when they're communicating, they just go whoop 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 whoop, and when everything's on high alert, they go whoop 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 whoop.
This is so close to shoot the stars Iranu Ufafu. You've no.
Just imagine that done with a 60s synthesizer, and you've got the sounds of the web planet.
When you give a correct answer, you hear whoop whoop, and you hear an incorrect answer, whoop 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 whoop. I will find that clip for you sometime, and hopefully you'll get a laugh out of it. But it's very funny.
God.
Shooting stars, Vic Reed and Bob Mortimer. Iranu.
Anyways.
Yeah. Anyways, so we get a nice little scene with Barbara and Vicky. So Vicky is from the 25th century. Is that right?
Yeah, that's about right.
They picked her up after they left Susan behind in one of the Dalek stories.
Yeah, they left her behind, and then they picked up Vicky. She was from the 25th century, and her spaceship crashed on a planet, and they rescued her in a 2-part episode called The Rescue.
That's it.
Aptly named.
Aptly named. It's a pretty good one, too.
Yeah.
For 2-parter.
But anyway, they're basically sitting around these comfy chairs that the TARDIS has got for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, apparently they're supposed to be beds because they put Vicky to sleep in one of them.
Yeah, and there's a great bit where they're talking about Vicky's talking about her education, and she's like, "Oh, I studied medicine every day in an hour by a machine." And then Barbara's like, "Well, I taught
Obviously,
this."
she didn't learn jack shit.
Barbara's like, "I teach
And
this.
said,
I teach this at school." And then Vicky says, "Goes, oh, so it's a nursery. It was a nursery school then."
Well, neither of them know shit because Barbara's like, "Here, take this. It'll put you to sleep." And Vicky's like, "I've never heard of aspirin."
Yeah,
What in the fuck is a pill?
but what? I swear, you're just like a pill.
Fucking aspirin does not put you to sleep. Seriously.
No, it does not. But maybe she's not used to it. She has like an adverse reaction to it. Just my headcanon. But anyway, while that's going on, we get a nice little adventure between the Doctor and Ian. And this anti-density jacket that they wear.
Well, hang
It's
on.
stylish.
You forgot one important thing.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara's got a bracelet.
Oh yeah. Barbara's got a gold bracelet.
I'm gonna talk about this for a second. So the previous story, as you mentioned, was The Romans, which is a 4-episode historical story in ancient Rome. And it's sort of a comedy romp of sorts, where the Doctor and Vicky go off to Nero's palace. But Ian and they're gone, Ian and Barbara get captured and sold into slavery in a way. And they also end up in Nero's palace. Comedy gold, I know. They also end up in Nero's palace, but the two never meet. The two pairs of characters never meet until they each individually escape the absolute chaos they cause and get back to their meeting place.
I may have to try that one down in my own time. That sounds pretty good.
It's it's kind of interesting. It's not bad. It's worth a watch. Anyway, Nero, Emperor of Rome, gave Barbara this bracelet because he really wanted to fuck her.
And I've certainly lost all interest in watching it.
Yeah, they do some comedy runaround bullshit, you know. It's very Benny Hill in a way, for better or worse.
Worse.
Yeah, but, you know, it's not... I can think of worse Doctor Who's. But anyway, plot point, that Barbara's got a gold bracelet. And also, it's funny, there is a scene where Barbara's like, oh, I got this with Nero. Wait, you met Nero? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. We had an adventure, too.
Yeah,
There's
I
actually
actually ask about that because from the sound of it sounded like, you know, Vicky had been there in the previous episode, but Barbara said in the previous episode that, you know, they had gone to Rome. And it's like, why would they go to Rome without Vicky? And Vicky doesn't know about it.
Yeah.
I
do like the fact they had separate adventures.
Yeah.
That's something they didn't really do with in the Chris Chibnall era. They tried to do it, but maybe not to the best of his ability. But
well,
anyway.
it's a four-parter, but you know, you have two companions and the Doctor.
Yeah.
Chibnall has ability?
Cat, be nice.
Anyway, that's a long-winded thing. Also, a weird, fun artifact of the 60s is that there's a power drain on the TARDIS, and it can't dematerialize off of the lead planet. So the Doctor has to open the doors by using a magic ring.
Yeah. This ring didn't really survive past the Hartnell era, did it?
No, it didn't. It pops up here and there again. I've seen it in the Daleks' master plan.
It almost didn't survive the end of this episode. The end of the story.
No. I've seen it pop up again in the Daleks' master plan, where the meddling monk does a thing to fuck up the TARDIS lock to troll the Doctor.
Oh, God, I forgot the monk was in master plan. You're right.
Yeah, he's like, you stranded me, but I stranded you. Fuckface, have fun. And the Doctor has to use the power of the sun and channel it through his magic ring to undo the lock and get away.
I'll let you in a little secret. Had I not seen it, I'd have picked the Time Meddler. But I've seen it, so I want to go for something I hadn't seen before.
Yeah, the Time Meddler is a neat choice.
Oh, the Time Meddler's fun, and Peter Butterworth's a great antagonist, but...
yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah, we split them up again, basically. So we got Barbara and Vicky inside the TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
Ian and the Doctor go out alone, but they have these anti-density jackets.
To help them breathe in the thin atmosphere of Ortis.
Quite a rad concept of 1965.
It's neat.
And then William Hartnell is a absolute delight throughout this entire serial, but in particular, Ian is on the surface of the planet, and he takes out his pen, and it just vanishes.
Whoosh!
And the Doctor sees this, and he thinks it's a magic trick. And he's like trying to go, very good, most amusing. He's like, no, Doctor, it just vanished.
Yeah, the Doctor seems to give no fucks for a certain part of the serial itself, up until a certain point where they get captured.
Oh, the Doctor's... William Hartnell's Doctor could be just the most glorious troll.
I was going to say, sum him up in one word, troll.
Yeah.
I kind of love him for that aspect. He's grown on me.
He is great. He is great.
Yeah.
One thing I'm learning through all these classic serials that we're watching is that all the classic Doctors have got their merits.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. But inside the TARDIS, Barbara's got a problem. She does not have control of her left arm.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh is right.
No.
So she's like, she said, I can't control it. And then she just walks out of the doors of the TARDIS.
Yeah, that's not great.
Is it magnetism or is it possession? We'll find out soon enough.
Meanwhile, the Doctor and Ian find a really big pyramid
and a pool of water.
This is even more like, it's not really trollish per se, but it's still fun. Ian goes to take a drink, and the Doctor's like, "Now wait, hang on," and he takes Ian's tie and dips it in the water. Oops! It was actually acid.
It's boiling acid. Oh no!
Actually, I'm wondering, why was he wearing his tie around his waist?
Because he had his jacket. I don't know, actually.
I don't know. Maybe it's a 60s thing.
Either way, I just had to say rest in peace, Joel Schumacher, to that reference.
Yeah, that's why I put it in there.
I also wanted to say, back when Barbara is, talking to Vicky about her losing control of her arm, Vicky shows no concern whatsoever. Vicky is just like, oh, you card. And Barbara's like, I'm seriously worried here. What the hell is wrong with you?
If it was Ian, then he would be worried for her. But Vicky doesn't have that attachment.
Yeah, but
she still likes Barbara, though.
She likes her, but she's not got that attachment like Ian has.
Yeah,
right.
Didn't she just brag about how she had all this schooling, including medical schooling?
Yeah. I've got written in my notes here, the TARDIS is going berserk and so is Barbara.
Yeah. But, yeah, the acid water thing is wild because the doctor's like, oh, I saved your life, dear boy. You could have melted your face. And he's just like, you've ruined my goddamn tie.
So he throws it away. And then they spot a Zarbi just looking at them from the top of the cliff.
Oh, it's wild. So that leads them to run, and that leads to a big sort of cliffhanger.
Yeah, a myriad of cliffhangers happening to different characters. So Ian gets trapped in a big net.
Which, I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be.
I think it's supposed to be some sort of plant life.
Yeah, some sort of living net.
All right. That's fine then. So Ian's trapped in that. Barbara's zombie walking because she's controlled by the bracelet.
Yeah, I'm about to go straight to the acid.
Yeah. Vicky's in the TARDIS, which is going apeshit, and the Doctor is running back to the TARDIS, only to find that it's gone.
Yeah, Vicky is trying to stop the TARDIS from controlling. Mm-hmm. The TARDIS is being controlled by something, so she's just pressing all the buttons she can find on the console to try and stop this from happening.
Not a really good idea.
And the final shot is the Doctor going, "My TARDIS is gone," and that's it.
So that leads us to episode 2.
That's probably the most conventional episode of the 6 of them.
Well, here's the thing. Actually, this is kind of a contradictory story. I would argue that the plot, if you boil it down enough, is fairly conventional, sort of rebel factions against an opposing force. And and one side gets captured, one side is working with the opposing force to liberate the planet. Blah, blah, blah. It's sort of the same thing you'd see in like a 60s Dalek serial or something.
I mean, yeah, but any story can be that simple if you boil it down enough.
Yeah, if you boil it down enough. But it does feel kind of standard in a way. In a way. But then on the other hand, what in the fuck am I looking at?
I know.
Magic.
So let's resolve the
magic.
Yes. Let's resolve the cliffhangers then in part 2, which is just called the Zarbi.
Barbara turns left away from or right, or I don't know, turns away from the acid.
Yeah, she's controlled by one of the Zarbi. She seems to be guided safely by the Zarbi's beat boobs.
The Doctor finds Ian, and he's okay. And Vicky's still in the TARDIS.
The net doesn't seem to have harmed Ian. It's messed his face up a bit.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really play into the rest of the story, but...
No, okay.
Pretty much it just serves as a vehicle for the Doctor to say, I can't help you, the TARDIS is gone.
Yeah.
And then I have in my notes, suddenly, moth people!
Oh my god.
Put them up, Rainiac.
In the name of Insect Queen is this?
Say hello to the Menoptera.
The Menoptera.
You know what gets me? What really gets me is the TARDIS Wiki says that they're butterfly-like creatures. It's like, no.
They're moths.
Honey.
They're moths.
One's even attracted to a light.
Yeah, that's the entire thing they're going for in the climax. Moths to flame.
They are moths.
Also, seriously, is there any way that we could somehow put the Mothman song in this? Because there's...
I have had 2 years of Blinking Kelsey calling herself the Mothman Cometh on Discord. No. The answer is no. Every time I try to look at what she's doing, that Blinking Mothman picture. God damn it.
Wait a minute. I gotta see what the hell you're talking about.
It goes,
here.
I bring you love. No, you don't. Shut up.
Let me see what this is here.
Or is it her Twitter handle? Either way, Kelsey and the Mothman are linked to each other.
No. Her Discord icon is Square Kirby, so must be Twitter.
Well, it's not now. It's changed.
Okay, but before.
But for like a year, maybe two, it was that same thing the same time.
The Mothman.
No,
Who doesn't love Mothman?
I don't.
So, you would if you played some Shin Megami. Sure.
This is turning into like that thing. It's like everyone else loves the Mothman. I don't. Everyone who cares loves the Mothman.
Basically, Rainiac, do you know what a cryptid is?
Yes.
The Mothman is just a giant man-sized moth that abducts people.
Yes.
And it's supposed to live in West Virginia.
I know enough about the Mothman to know I don't like the Mothman.
Right. So, then we get to the most adorable model shot of the episode. Okay, so the Zarbi took the TARDIS. It didn't dematerialize. It was just like dragged away by the Zarbi.
Yeah.
And we see just a little model TARDIS on the model set, and it's just shuffling forward. Just shuffling forward. It's so cute. I love it.
Somebody stop that TARDIS!
Anyway, Barbara keeps on zombie walking, but then one of the Menoptera breaks her bracelet.
They throw it in the acid.
And they throw it in the acid. So they snap that bracelet. And Barbara's free.
Yeah. And the
the
Menoptera, the moth aliens, they are split on Barbara. One wants to kill her. One wants to listen to her. And one is, should we say, reluctant? Cautious.
I have a question. So the Zarbi they were the ones who were controlling Barbara, right?
Well,
indirectly.
Not quite the Zarbi, but the thing.
Either way, they were using the bracelet to get her to follow to wherever they need her to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did they have her go into the cave where the Menoptera are?
I think they just led her there. I'm not sure. Thinking back.
Because the whole idea is that they're supposed to be hiding from the Zarbi, and they think that the Zarbi can't find them. And then later on, when the Zarbi do find them, because that was a whole thing where they were afraid that Barbara would lead the Zarbi to them. When the Zarbi do find them, it's treated as a big deal. They get captured and so on and so forth.
Right.
But here, they just basically lead Barbara directly to them.
Yeah.
Good question. I have no idea.
No, it's not really explained.
Plus, you think that the Zarbi would just follow Barbara right now since she's being, taken away by a.
Well, they don't have their ultimate weapon. They're just the advanced force.
I know, but still, it's a little weird that the Zarbi just throw up their antenna and go, okay, whatever.
Anyway, it's at this point that with Ian and the Doctor, we get the name of the titular web planet Vortis.
Yeah, I kept mishearing this as Mortis.
No, Vortis with a
and
V.
There's something that doesn't quite, they don't quite expand upon, but maybe they should do. The Doctor gives some exposition about the planet, and he says, I think we're on Vortis, but Vortis has no moons, and this place has several.
I think the main antagonist must have, attracted moons to this planet.
Well,
somehow.
They don't explain that.
They don't explain that, but that's my best guess.
Unless I've missed it. Unless I've missed something.
You probably missed something while your brain was being melted by moth people.
That's entirely possible.
I don't know. To be fair, my brain was melted by moth people. So
I didn't watch this in a single sitting. I did watch it in a single day. Probably a bad idea.
Oh, see, I did 3 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday.
Well, I meant to, and then Saturday came and went, so I had to get this watched.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Sauce. I watched the whole thing in one sitting and did fine.
Well, listen. I watched this the first time I saw it. I watched it once a day for 6 days. And even then, I was like, what in the fuck?
I got to watch the whole thing in one big sitting. So
pacing is irrelevant when it comes to the web planet. Because I just want
to know how the people that saw this for the first time during the Twitch marathon reacted.
Oh God! Can we get a log of the chat?
Forget London 1965. Moth people, what?
Actually, something I realized, because I was looking up stuff about the planet Fortis and the Aesop galaxy, and apparently, this is where the face of Bo came from. Is that galaxy?
Right.
What?
That's a very strange thing to. The face of Bo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
It said that the face of Bo was one of the oldest beings from the galaxy itself. In the Sarah Jane Adventures, they spoke about this galaxy as well with a planet name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce.
Right.
So this place has come up in other places in Doctor Who history.
Interesting.
That's neat. Okay.
I mean, if it was the face of Bo, that would be the Russell T Davies era, and he did like to pepper his scripts with references to the past.
Oh.
Motherfucker brought back the macra.
Oh. Guess what else is located in the Aesop galaxy?
Fish people.
No.
Not fish.
It's the planet Clom.
Oh no.
Oh.
No!
It's said to be the twin planet of that one planet name that I'm not even going to...
Reticulacophalabatorius. Thank you very much.
That one. Good job.
I knew as soon as you said that one planet I can't even pronounce, I knew it was going to be that.
But yeah, apparently the twin planet is Clom, and for those who might not realize what that is, that's the planet from Love and Monsters.
The Absorbaloff.
Peter K, why?
Yeah.
Listen.
So essentially, this story is connected to the Absorbaloff.
Listen. The moth people are as gonzo as Peter K, as a green fat bastard chasing Elton Pope.
I would argue more so, actually, but
Look.
Okay.
Look. We all know that it's not the Absorbaloff that we have a problem with in this episode. We all know what the real problem is with Love and Monsters.
In that
yes, we do. Moving back to the Zarbi.
What problem do you have with Mr. Skinner?
Moving back to the Zarbi very quickly.
Moving on.
Yeah, let's get back to the episode.
Ian has a nice couple of bits of character moments here. He takes charge of the situation. He makes the decision to have them breathe slowly and deeply. Turns out to be the correct one. And he puts his foot in it, quite literally.
Oh, yeah,
he steps on his chrysalis.
Oopsie diddle-doo.
Yeah.
Oops.
And again, it's not a butterfly, people. They are moths.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get why they would say it's a butterfly, because butterflies tend to have colorful wings.
Well, maybe... Well, it's black and white, so you don't know. But maybe officially they are butterflies, or they just didn't know what butterflies and moths were. Like the distinction between them.
Well, even if they were colored, they would still show up on the screen as different shades of gray. I mean, you could almost say there were 50 of them.
No.
No, God.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Veto.
So I also have in my notes the second noise that the Zarbi make. I just wrote whoop, whoop,
Lord.
whoop, whoop, which will probably give you a headache. Probably.
The police are here. Cheese it.
Speaking of cheese it, Barbara gets away from the moth people.
Yeah, she flips one of them with like a plank of wood.
Damn, she's got moves.
She certainly has that.
Anyway, the I keep calling them moth people, but they're named the
Menoptera.
They have distinct names, but I'll be damned if I can
I can pronounce two of them, but that's about it.
Yeah. Anyway, they're trying to get a message through to their advanced attack force, but they can't get through. And then these Zarbi bust in. The Fuzzer here smash the crystals.
With Barbara.
And one of the moth people gets killed. And we haven't mentioned the... what are they called? Larva guns. No, larva guns.
Oh, the larvae guns, yeah.
They're just fucking little wood louses.
They look
With
like
pointy noses that shoot lasers of death.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just like pew, pew, and then one of the moth people gets killed, and they just you know,
Yeah.
60s Doctor Who death scene. So one of the moth people gets killed. The two remaining Menoptera, and well, not too many actually. One gets away.
One escapes.
One escapes, and one gets caught along with Barbara.
Yeah, because Barbara's actually with the Zarbi.
Yeah.
They've put a harness, a gold harness around her neck.
And that lets them control anyone who wears it.
So this Menoptera, this Hustar, he takes the harness off, and he explains what's going to happen. He says, we're going to be taken to the crater of needles.
Dun, dun, dun.
And we will work against our will for the Zarbi.
We haven't mentioned the Doctor's subplot in episode 2 very much, but he gets separated from Ian.
Yeah.
And he goes for the TARDIS. Actually, no, he doesn't get separated from Ian yet. He and Ian find the TARDIS with Vicky inside.
Yeah, Vicky's inside the TARDIS. She goes out. He's immediately set upon by the Zarbi.
Azari tries to get in, but can't. And it's because one of the random buttons she pushed activated a force field.
Yeah, by some miracle of science,
some miracle
random pressing of buttons brought the power back.
Yeah.
Reconnected the fluid link or something.
Yeah. Technobabble bullshit.
Yeah.
But there's a great bit where once they cut back from Barbara getting captured, there's a great bit where there's this Zarbi and Hartnell's trying to talk to him and he's doing fucking charade.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Doctor, that's bees. It's bees who dance, honey.
And then the episode 2 cliffhanger is that this tube comes down from the ceiling over Hartnell's head, and you just hear a voice echo, "Why have you come here?
Why do you come now?"
Or "Why do you come now?" Something that way.
You say tube, I say hairdresser's protection helmet.
No, I don't say. I didn't say that yet because William Hartnell's going to say it for me.
Does he actually say that?
Yeah, there's a part later. It does obviously salon hair dryer thing. There's a part later where he's trying to call it down. He's just like, "Bring down this wretched hair dryer or thing or whatever it is."
I must have missed that.
Oh, it's a glorious fucking line.
I will say there was one line from episode 2 that made me laugh out loud.
What's that?
It was when the Doctor was still with Ian, and I think they were looking for the TARDIS. I can't remember exactly when he said this. But Ian was asking, because it was right around when the Doctor realized what planet they were on. And Ian's like, "Well, can you tell me the history of this place?" And the Doctor's like, "History doesn't matter when you travel through space and time." I'm sorry, what did this show used to be?
Yeah. And this is about the 12th episode of the entire show. The 12th series of the entire show.
Yeah.
It's like, hello.
So part 3 is called Escape to Danger. Bit of a paradox. And it opens with Hartnell and Vicky. Sorry, the Doctor and Vicky. I do this a lot. I confuse the actor with the character.
I've done sometimes.
Yeah. The Doctor and Vicky. This dark power is talking to the Doctor via the mystical hairdryer helmet.
And to demonstrate its amazing power, it raises a tentacle up from the wall and tries to the TARDIS.
And nothing happens because Vicky realigned the fluid link and got the power back, so the shields repel the attack.
But now the mystical force behind this hairdryer wants the Doctor's help in plotting the course of its enemies.
The Menoptera.
Via the Doctor's astral map.
Yeah. The Doctor calls it the Queen of the Ants. And his plan here is to stall it as long as he can. He says, once we outlive our usefulness, it's going to kill us stone dead. So I've got to try and keep it interested and just give it enough information so that it doesn't think that we're totally useless, but we don't give it everything that it needs straight away. So he's playing a game. He's playing a game with it, and he's doing rather well at first.
Yeah.
He wants to go inside his TARDIS, but the Zarbi are around it, and the power just immobilizes the zombie like they're machines. They're living creatures. They're not actually, robots, but they're like machines in this sense because it just shuts them down temporarily.
Because it's in full control.
Yeah. As soon as this happens, Ian makes a break for it.
Good job, Ian.
Yeah. And he fights off one of the zombie, he incapacitates it, and then gets trapped inside a wall.
Good job, Ian.
He gets free of the wall, and then Menoptera out of nowhere.
God, we gotta mention one part in episode 3. I think we're gonna need a gif of it too.
Oh god.
The scene where the Zarbi comes to camera and bumps it. Just bumps the camera. Boom.
Yes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I doubt anybody could see in those ridiculous costumes.
I think they're gonna pass, yeah.
And also, they kept it in because it was time-consuming and expensive to stage a reshoot for simple bloopers. That's why we have things like the Billy Fluff, where William Hartnell gets his lines slightly wrong half the time, and they just roll with it.
The Billy Fluff? Is that what it's called?
That's literally what fandom calls it. The Billy Fluff.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
When he gets his line slightly wrong. I can't think of any in the Web Planet itself, but...
No, he did it in Three Doctors.
He did it in Three Doctors.
Yeah. He got a couple of his lines wrong. Actually, the one I noticed from his lines the most is Patrick Troughton.
Yeah. There's one I did a William Hartnell story called The Gunfighters, which is
there's one in there.
Story, where he calls Wyatt Earp Mr. Werp.
And of course, it's quite sad because it means his mind was deteriorating at this point. But people try to find the good out of it. But William Hartnell, bless him, he was a good doctor.
Oh. Guess who tried to be one of the Menoptera?
Who's that?
Peter Purves.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Apparently, Richard Martin turned him down, telling him that he was, and I quote, far too talented to play a rubber-suited monster.
That's hilarious, given who plays one of the rubber-suited monsters later on.
Well, we'll get
funny.
To that. We'll get to that moth character later.
The shade thrown to that actor is hilarious, knowing that.
So, I don't have much in the way of plotting.
No, basically, Ian is swooped upon by a Menoptera, which is Vrestin, the one that escaped.
Yep.
And they form an alliance.
So they have their own little plot line now for the rest of the serial.
Yeah.
Ian and Vrestin.
And Vrestin basically is just exposition time here. She says, well, we are not the invaders here. We live on this planet, and then we lived in peace with the Zarbi, and then this dark power turned the Zarbi against us, and we fled, and now we've come back to take it back.
We fled to the moon!
To the moon!
Oh, God, I can't wait to do that after the third.
Well, at least there's water.
And a crack.
And a crack.
So it turns out Peter Hardis was right all this time. That's great.
Mother. Oh, God.
Although I swear, if it turns out that the moon is a giant egg, as the world gets destroyed by the fact that we have no moon anymore, I'm going to be standing outside, find a shotgun, and start shooting it at the moon just out of pure hatred.
Fuck's sake.
Someone needs to tell Dr. Redman to cool it. Seriously. You're kind of endangering the entire planet, Doc. Just stop.
So another thing
want us to give the Simpsons Doctor Who treatment, or the Doctor Who give the Simpsons treatment, where suddenly they predict the future.
Oh,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Another thing in the episode that is sort of like a thing for later is that Vicky gets a box of stuff for the Doctor to power the astral map, or something to that effect, I think. I don't remember the exact plot line, but she goes to get a box of something or the Doctor, but instead she gets a specimen box with a spider in it or something.
Yeah.
And the Zarbi actually have the same reaction as Kat there, which they're afraid of it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it's not an actual spider.
What is it? I don't know.
It's a sort of a gold thing.
Oh.
But you're right, the Zarbi they are afraid
Whatever
of it.
it is, they're afraid of it, and the Doctor and Vicky are like, we can use to our advantage.
I don't like.
There are some weird fucking notes I have. I wrote down, wrestle that Zarbi.
Yeah. That's probably.
That's Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Tony Vicky says he kills it, but he clearly doesn't because the Zarbi is still moving.
Yeah.
He just incapacitates it. The Doctor manages to bluff his way out of being killed. While this is going on, now Vicky's got a gold harness. Uh-oh.
That's bad.
So she's
The
possessed.
Animus clearly doesn't trust the Doctor because... Oh yeah, the blunder. Is there a blunder here, or is that later?
There might be.
Let me. No, that's in episode 4. Let's remember.
Yeah, and we get quite a hardcore thing here. We are told the Zarbi, when they capture the Monotra, they tear their wings off.
Fucked up.
So Hrostar, who's with Barbara, he hasn't got his wings anymore.
Yeah, because they don't want him to fly away from the
He does have a small
needles.
pair, which are growing back quite rapidly. So they're not permanently devoid of wings. But it robs them of the power of flight.
Yeah. Which is kind of sad for these poor boys. That sucks. Anyway, our part 3 cliffhanger is Ian and Vreston getting ambushed by Zarbi. And they run into like a little cave to hide. But there's a pitfall, collapse sort of thing, and they fall into a hole.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And episode 3. So episode 4 is Crater of Needles.
Which we've heard mentioned before.
Yeah. And we cut back to Ian and Vreston, who are fine from that fall. Somehow. We won't question it. What we will question is what in the holy fuck are these things?
The giant wood lice.
The Optera.
The Optera. Again, not named until later on.
We were like, grubs? I don't know what kind of insect they are, but
this is the most Sesame Street thing in the entire episode.
Oh, God! I can't even say you're lying. I get it. They just jump around and they sort of ooga booga. They're kind of like...
As I could gleam, is that they're sort of like the cavemen to the Menoptera's humans.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, they're kind of like a proto-Menoptera.
They're the Caterpie to the Menoptera's butter.
Oh, God damn it.
Basically, they were the Menoptera they were left behind. They went underground. Once they were down there, obviously they evolved and changed to adapt to the darker environment.
And
Yeah.
So they just hop around, and they really like to talk like this.
Yeah.
They talk like cavemen.
Yeah.
Basically.
They say some weird gonzo shit, but it's weird.
Speaking of gonzo shit, the Crater of Needles.
The Crater of Needles.
So this is where the Monotra that are captured are put to work by the Zarbi. And they are mining a material. They're pushing it into the acid, drawing it to the main base of the Zarbi, which is called the carcinome.
Mm-hmm.
And it grows more and more over Vortis as a result.
So yeah, we should mention by now that the Menoptera have a name for the thing that's controlling the Zarbi. They call it the Animus.
Yeah.
Or as they say, the Animus.
We can finally stop calling it the dark power or the higher power. It's me, Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Well, I mean, it could be worse because Animus kind of sounds like anime, so... Listen to a whole bunch of weebs.
God. Thanks.
That deserves a paddling.
That is an old school reference if there ever was.
I like old school references.
Leave a comment down below if you get that one.
Bless you for making that reference.
We gotta keep the old memes alive.
Keeping the trope alive!
I am not falling for that again. God damn it. No.
And now I'm mirroring you. Fuck!
No.
Actually, yes, come to think of it, I don't have any mirror web planet just because my brain's so fucking melted.
There's no real mirror imagery to speak of.
There's no. Well, I guess the Optra and the Monoptra.
That's the only one I can think of, but that's a very tenuous link.
It's a stretch. Listen, this is madcap enough.
We don't have to have a mirror alert every week.
Yeah, we don't. It helps, but we don't.
You don't have to be meant to work here, but it helps.
Anyway, I've also got written down that the Optra have a weapon that they hope will defeat the Animus. They call it the Isotope.
Oh, I'm getting the spider and the isotope confused. I'm sorry. No, the spider is a spider.
Yeah.
It's a specimen of a spider, which the zombie are terrified of.
Okay. Which there's some interesting cancer metaphor going on with the Animus, where the Monoptera call it the carcinome, and they have an isotope, like chemotherapy, radiation.
God, I just got that.
I just got that too, to be fair. So there's something going there, thematic imagery.
Yeah.
You can dig it.
I don't have too many notes part 4 myself, but they do note the Animus' weakness.
What you're saying is the plot of Web Planet mirrors cancer treatments.
Oh.
Hey! Boop, 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 wait, I can't do boop-a-doop. In this case, I have to do whoop, 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 Dr. Who.
Can we make that the new mirror alert sound? Just that whoop whoop?
No.
Yes, we can.
You're voted out.
Oh, God damn it.
You need to leave the island now.
Speaking of November 4th.
Oh, fuck. So, meanwhile, the doctor back in the Animus control center, adjacent control center, back in his little place. He's basically just like, let Vicky go or I won't do shit.
Yeah. And the gold doesn't actually possess her, more like it subdues her. Maureen O'Brien has about this strange face the second time it happens.
It's basically just like a dazed trance.
It's disabling them.
It's just pretend you're fucking mind controlled. That's all they had to say. Yeah. That's the acting direction.
But Barbara's actually did a good job of looking like she was possessed. Vicky, she obviously didn't get. Maureen O'Brien did not get that direction.
Shit.
She just has to look like she's stopped.
Actually, to touch a little bit more on the gold thing, there is, and nobody looked this up because it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
There's a parasite that will actually embed itself into ants and take their bodies over.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is referring to.
Okay. Yeah. So that's where we're going, I guess.
Yeah, and the gold, the doctor managed, and Vicky, they managed to neutralize one of the gold harnesses.
So the writer of this episode was A, looking up stuff about cancer treatment, B, looking up weird shit about gross insects, and C, probably taking LSD or some shit.
Yeah, I was going to say C, hopped out of their mind on LSD.
Actually, well, I take that back. I don't think the writer was taking LSD so much as the goddamn costume designers and shit.
Yeah. Possibly.
By the way, acid was involved somewhere on this and not just the set.
Right,
so
right.
They've got a weapon now. They've got a deactivated harness.
Yeah.
So they can now move around the carcinome.
I think that's later, actually.
Well, yeah, but they've got it anyway. And then
mm-hmm.
we get a battle.
Oh man,
this is something else. So, firstly, the Monoptera inside the crater of needles. They come up with a plan. They overpower and kill the zombie and the lava gun that's guarding them. Barbara can't watch this.
Oh my god, this is wild.
This is sort of a running theme throughout Barbara's time on Doctor Who. She doesn't like violence. She will look away when something violent's about to happen.
What? Is this the part where they wrestle Zarvia now, but Barbara got one where the Monoptera just fucking hoists it up and smashes it against a rock wall?
Yes.
Jesus. That's hardcore. I mean, the sound designers, I think they just put in like a bug crunch.
That's the first battle then.
Yeah.
Down the underground, the woodlice have determined that Ian and Freston come from the surface, the sky, so they're to be killed.
They do some shit where they make them put their hands in this goop that sticks them together.
Yeah.
So they can't get out. And, there's some weird shit.
Anyway, Ian convinces Freston to tell the Optera that she's a god. And she shows them her wings, and they fall for it.
So, we'll see. Someone took the same advice as that Ghostbusters said. When someone asks if you're a god, you say yes!
Yes.
There's
funny
another
enough,
good scene.
this whole subplot kind of mirrors something that's a major part of the Aztecs.
He said mayor!
Oh.
Keeping the trope alive!
Wasn't even thinking about it.
That's how we get you. It's
just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
It's been it's been almost 5 years since that amazing moment. Can you believe?
Holy shit!
Yeah.
But, I wanted to briefly mention the doctor's little blunder here, where he's obviously been stalling the Animus with his astral map, and then he's got the communication device when the Animus drops its hairdryer down, and we hear the entire message. This is an Optera landing at the crater of Needles. And this is like, you bitch, you lied. and they both get put on.
Yeah, they do. But one of them doesn't work.
Well, one doesn't work, but we don't know that because what they did, they shorted it out. So
yeah,
we don't know that yet.
No, you'll find out in part 5. But to hell with that, because we've got more special effects, if you can call it that.
Oh man, okay.
They're pretty special.
The Monotra Spearhead arrives.
Fly, my pretties! Fly.
And oh hey, is that Martin Jarvis?
I think Martin Jarvis. Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't know he was in this before I started watching it. Then I heard what the moths talk. I thought, that sounds like Martin Jarvis, but it couldn't possibly be. And then comes with the credits, Martin Jarvis, like, son of a bitch.
So, all I know Martin Jarvis for is his later Doctor Who work. I mean, he did this. Then he was in Invasion of the Dinosaurs, a John Pertwee story.
Yes, and he was in
with even better special effects. And you and I, Rainiac, know him as the governor in the Colin Baker story, Vengeance on Varos.
Some say it's a classic.
Yeah, and for those of you who may still not know exactly who this is, have you ever played one of the Batman Arkham games?
Vaguely.
With Alfred Pennyworth.
Holy shit!
Neat.
He plays Alfred.
Neat.
I didn't know that.
I played a little bit of Arkham.
I played one of those games. Yeah, I know, because you killed Bane with the Batmobile, you bastard. Now you're playing with the Vehicular Manslaughter. Bang!
Well, to be fair, didn't that happen in the dark?
Yes, off screen.
Right, yeah.
All this build-up to Bane. All this build-up to Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, and he's killed off-screen by Catwoman. Son of a bitch.
Beautiful.
Well, just to be perfectly clear, he's in Arkham City, Arkham Origins.
Okay. I didn't play those. I only played a little bit.
And also Assault on Arkham and Arkham Knight.
He's a very famous actor. He's a very good sort of Shakespearean-style actor. So when you said that Peter Purvis was told he was too good to be in makeup for some moth, that made me smile.
He was in a really good Colin Baker Big Finish called Jubilee, too. I remember that.
Oh, God, Jubilee's amazing.
Jubilee, I believe, is written by Robert Shearman and was the inspiration for the 2005 Dalek story.
It was adapted into Dalek, basically.
It's good. And Kat, if you haven't seen Vengeance on Varos, you should, because it has your boy Colin Baker in it, and you'll love it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, this guy is like a really accomplished voice actor. I mean, He was in the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which I loved that show.
Yeah.
Nice. Anyway, here he is as a giant moth person flying around.
These flight effects are something else.
This is it's beautiful. Like this is the kind of shit I'm talking about with the fish people. This kind of shit.
One of them definitely hits the camera at some point.
I'm sorry, but all I can think of now is butterfly in the sky.
Take a look.
They're moths. Don't apologise. So this is the spearhead. This is the Monotra spearhead that's been referred to. They're about as effective as the Suicide Squad of the People's Front of Judea because they do not fare well.
Yeah, they don't do very well. Their weapons, Zarby. And I've written, whoop, whoop, oh no! Because the Zarby come in and, they attack.
Yeah.
And there's moth people getting killed and shot down by larva guns. Barbara and Rasta are running away, but they kind of get surrounded. And this is kind of wild.
That's our cliffhanger. They're
I gotta talk about the cliffhanger because I don't know if you know this, but they get cornered at a rock wall and they're like getting advanced upon by Zarby. The next episode title card comes up, yeah, and it's going to fade out. Woo! Before it does, you can see the take where Barbara and Rasta just run away.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been way more dramatic to fade on them getting cornered and then... no, they don't.
They forgot to cut the cameras when they leave the set.
Ironic because the last Marvel appearance in televised Doctor Who, one of the cliffhangers is him saying where to cut.
Yeah.
It's so good.
That's a great cliffhanger. And cut it now.
It is a very good cliffhanger. This one is not so good, but it does lead us into episode 5, Invasion.
Oh my god. So,
Barbara and Rasta run away.
That wall that Barbara and Rasta were backed up against by the Zarby, they just escaped through it.
Just a secret passage in the wall. Okay.
Convenient secret passage in the wall. They're through it.
Heard it.
Okay.
Inside the Barbara then meets a whole bunch of Monotra who were not destroyed were not killed in the battle.
I keep calling them moth people, but they're Monotra.
I
mean, honestly, saying moth people is a lot easier than.
I know who you mean. I know exactly who you mean.
Yeah.
They include 2 that didn't fight in the battle at all, or they escaped from the battle. They also include Martin Jarvis's character.
Which, of course, you're going to have a guy of his caliber.
Yeah.
A moth person? Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
You're not going to have him show up and then get killed off in like 2 seconds. You're not going to waste Martin Jarvis like that, right?
And I'm just going to point out that the acting these moth people do is just incredible. They are very expressive with their hands.
Yeah, there is actually a credit in the episode for Insect Movement by Rosalind De Winter.
Yeah.
Who plays Vreston.
That's Vreston's actress, exactly.
Yeah, Vreston's actress. So, like, it's obviously like some theatrical thing going about where they deliberately make the moths move in a weird way, moving their hands to be very alien.
It's quite endearing, honestly.
It is. They really tried to make these guys alien as fucking, like, weird. And they succeeded.
It makes them stick out in the memory.
This whole story sticks out in the memory.
Absolutely. I won't not be able to forget this for a while. Anyway, the long story short, the Monotra have got this weapon, the isotope.
Mm-hmm.
A living cell destructor. Because the rest of their weapons are, like, useless against the Zarby. For whatever reason.
Really, but killing the animus, it's like killing the head vampire. You cut off the head and all the Zarby will snap back and blow up piece. But yeah. I've got written down, rally them moth people, Barbara.
Yeah. Back at the Carlson then, so Vicky is not under the influence of the harness, but acts like she is.
It's great because the cut is there. There's like standing motionless, and then Vicky just slowly opens her eyes, like,
and pulls it off.
Yeah,
she gets the doctor out of his harness.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're going to stand there still while a Zarby comes along. They're not wearing the harnesses, but it just buys it.
Gullible.
So they
Even my immediate family bought it.
They book it out of the carcinome, and they take a harness with them.
Oh wait, they actually what they do is they stick the harness on the Zarbi and go out with it.
Here's your parasite idea.
Yeah.
They
I've
put
written down, is that Zarbi snorting? Because I swear to God, it goes. I can't make the fucking noise.
It could have been.
God, it sounds like a pig sound. Anyway, Vicky actually names the Zarbi.
Oh God, she calls it Zombo.
Zombo.
What in the hell?
I love it.
And she also says it's quite cute. Vicky,
For a baby.
Vicky, what in the hell?
Oh, Vicky, I love you. Oh God. But back down underground with Ian Vreston and the Uptara.
Yeah.
There's some
back in the upside down. Then
they let them go, and then they have a really fucking weird line. You can probably get it in the transcript, but it's about making mouths with their weapons. So
they're mining through the tunnel to get to the surface, and he tells one of them to make mouths.
Make mouths with their weapons so they'll speak more light.
But I guess so, like cavemen, this would make sense.
So it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
The Optera are sort of like this very basic, very simple organism.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it makes sense what they're saying. Make mouths of caves so that more light will come in.
I'm fine with it. I kept hearing...
It's so wild.
I keep hearing make mounds, but it's mouths.
I get it. It's wild, but I like it.
Yeah.
Honestly, to be fair, the only living thing on the planet that can also talk is the Animus. So
it ends very badly for one of them because
well, that doesn't happen yet. Does it? Hang on. Wait, let me.
Tellus Wiki says it does.
No, you're right. I've got mine.
They break through the rocks. The acid starts to fly out the rocks, and one of the woodlice, one of the Optera, blocks it with her own body.
Sticks her head in there and lets her head melt, block it. Jesus.
Like blocking up a dam.
Hardcore.
This kills it. Her, of course. Ian is badly affected by this. The other Optera are like, meh. So what?
What can you do?
Yeah. Well, Ian actually goes to try and save her, and he's stopped.
Yeah.
He said, "No, this has to happen." So, yeah. Today on Sesame Street, we're going to be discussing self-sacrifice.
So,
self-sacrifice brought to you by the letter S.
Back with Barbara's underground force of remaining Menoptera, then, she comes up with an idea to stage a mock attack.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually quite tactically, clever.
And this is when this is around the time when the Doctor, Vicky, and Zombo, the best boy, show up with the moth people.
Yes, Zombo, the best boy.
And they basically formulate their plan. Barbara and co are going to go make a fake attack, while the Doctor is going back to the carcinome, the Animus, and he basically wants to use the isotope that both people have invented.
And that leads us to the cliffhanger of this particular episode of Invasion.
Of boring.
Web shot!
Kat! Kat, no. So a plot is hatched between the moth people and the Doctor, as Frezno said earlier, and one of them actually takes the ring of the Doctor's hand because they want to keep the tame Zarbi with the Menoptera. He'll be useful to them.
Zombo, the best boy.
Zombo, the best boy. But that requires the ring, and the Doctor's not happy about this. But he trades it basically for the isotope.
And he's basically just like, give it back on your life.
Yeah, the Menoptera promises on his life he will return it.
Yep.
So they're quite honourable, despite the fact one wanted to kill Barbara earlier. But it's okay, because he's dead, so...
The Doctor and Vicky head on back to Carcinome. And, well,
Spider-Man attacks.
The Animus isn't happy and shoots him with web shot.
Spider-Man attacks.
Spider-Man attacks. And that's the episode 6 cliffhanger. Oops.
Episode 5. Yeah.
Episode 5 cliffhanger. Yeah, sorry.
The
episode...
The resolution to this cliffhanger isn't much. Basically, the webbing does nothing to them. It just makes them a bit inconvenienced.
Yeah.
But that leads us into episode 6, The Center.
Yeah. I don't have many notes for this one, because at this point my brain was fried.
Oh, Trill. Well,
I mean,
I guess the Animus' brain,
motherfucker, you kind of just sort of lose it.
Well, I guess the Animus' brain is fried too because it wants the Doctor's mind now.
Yeah, the Doctor's got no further use for the Doctor or Vicky. It was just going to take their minds.
Now it's gone from the Animus to the Animatrix. Hey!
Well done.
I've been waiting so long to use that joke.
Well done.
Excellent. Good thing they have that isotope. Oh wait, Astral. They got ambushed.
Yeah, and then we get a scene that is just wild.
Oh boy!
So the Monotra have come to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Barbara's grid Monotra, not Ian and Vreston and the Optera.
Yeah, I'll get to that.
They I almost can't say it, I'm laughing so hard.
Well, first Zombo wrestles another Zarbi.
Yeah, Zombo tackles another an untamed Zarbi, and then Zombo just sort of wanders off out of shot, and then the Monotra come in, and they start basically. I've got this written down as a combination of interpretive dance and shouting. Basically,
the shouting really is the best part because they just shout, and I quote, "Zarbi."
Yeah. What the hell is going on?
Honestly, this is not the worst interpretive dance I've ever seen. It's pretty common, actually. May I remind you that GIF of the guy who has like a pole attached to his crotch and is like violently hip thrusting? And
oh God, no!
Another pole?
Do not remind me.
Dance.
Do not remind me.
I haven't seen this one. You'll have to show me later.
Oh, you haven't seen that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Let me find that.
Oh, by all means.
This interpreted dance, this flight of the bumblebee, if you will, it does the job. It successfully confuses the Zarbi.
Zarbi?
The Zarbi, yeah. The other Zarbi are pushing the Doctor and Vicky towards the centre. And the Doctor says, well, Vicky, hand me the isotope. She's like, oh no, I've left it in the astral map.
Whoops.
Bad move, Vicky. Bad move.
There's the thing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Then more Sesame Street shenanigans. Then that. Yes, that.
That. Thank you, Kat.
The face on that guy. I'm not sleeping tonight.
You want to know the
I'm not sleeping tonight. I'll turn this off. God damn it.
Are we even allowed to put that in the video?
Probably not. I'm minimizing. I am minimizing that because I don't want to be scarred for life.
All I can say is, if anybody is curious, look up online interpretive dance to "Crazy Train" by Ozzy Osbourne.
It's the Crazy Train. It's the Crazy Train.
It's set to Crazy Train.
Oh my god.
Okay, I changed my mind. That makes it so much better.
Oh god. All aboard!
Yeah.
So Ian and
the other group of rebels, Vrestin and the Optera, they break through to the surface at long last.
That's not quite yet. It's not quite yet.
Despite some arguments with the remaining Sesame Street characters.
Yeah, they're climbing vines for most of the episode.
And then we actually get a death, and it's quite a sad death.
Oh yeah, Hrothgar.
So Hrothgar, unfortunately, dies in the attack on more Zarbi and a larva gun. He gets shot by a larva gun.
He's trying to wrestle a larva gun to get it out.
Yeah, and he gets
the
shot.
Larva gun shoots him. And the larva gun shoots him.
Yeah, but he does crush the larva gun to death with his body.
Wow.
Yeah. And the female, I know this is Zarbi, the female Monotra, they just blend into each other after a while. I'm sorry, but I'm doing the best I can here. The female Monotra, I think it's Henia? The female Monotra that isn't Vrestin. She's quite upset about this.
And I don't know which one it is. It's just like, don't cry. Death was not in vain. We have much work to do.
I think that was Propilius. Because I think he's got the ring.
Right. So the Doctor and Vicky get led into the center. My eyes! Too bright!
Yeah.
So this is just a giant mass of tentacles surrounded by light. And it drains your will.
The goggles do nothing.
The goggles do nothing. So the Doctor and Vicky are quite literally in a bind to try and fight against it, but get all tangled, fall victim to it.
Yeah.
Bad news. So meanwhile, Barbara's group makes it to the carcinome, and when they're checking the astromap to make contact with their spearhead up in space, what should they find but the isotope?
Yeah, it was hidden in the astral map by Vicky.
So they rush into the center to deal with it.
Bad
Take this!
news.
Oh God, my eyes! It's bright.
Yeah,
And this is where I say the reading of them being moths makes sense.
They are
because
definitely
the
moths,
obvious
because-
analogy.
the female one I mentioned earlier is going towards the light, and she's being pulled back by one of her companions.
Like moths to flame. It's the
Yeah,
obvious.
she says, I must go towards this light. He says, no, not this light.
This light is evil.
Yeah. Then the Doctor and Vicky and Barbara play catch with the isotope.
And while this is happening,
Sorry,
Ian
the
Preston,
Monotro and Barbara play catch with the isotope for a little bit. Barbara gets
Ian-
it. She tries to use it on the
before that-
Animus, but the Animus blocks it somehow.
Yeah. Then Ian and Preston come up from their climb straight into
And
the
that
heart
motion
of the center.
distraction allows Barbara to kill the Animus.
Well, I don't think it's Barbara really do. I don't know what happens there.
Barbara.
Put that in.
Yeah, I will.
Fuck.
According to
I
Tennis
don't
Wiki,
know.
it's the distraction from Ian that momentarily distracts the Animus, and Barbara is able to use the isotope and kills it stone dead.
Yay!
Really? If it's I don't want to disagree with TARDIS Wiki, but it really feels like it was a thing like finally like succumbs to the power of the Animus, but she happens to drop the isotope into its core and fuck it up.
Oh, so it's racetrack about Galactica again, is it basically?
Maybe that's what it seemed like.
Through
That's what it
either
seemed
her
like.
own will or by complete happenstance, Barbara manages to get the isotope in there.
I mentioned this
And
in
the
the
Animus
time as
fucking
children, but
nuts.
basically in Battlestar Galactica, one of the pilots is killed, but her dead hand hits the button that nukes the hell out of a ship.
Oh, wild.
It's like this.
God damn, Ronald D. Moore going hard.
Yes, it's like, you know how Coach Sharmus got shot, but then still managed to release the death particle?
Right.
It's like that.
Right.
But,
So, either way, the Animus gets fucked up and dies in hunky dory.
yeah, and then we get a very long goodbye from all our guest characters.
Water is actually flowing on Vortis now, rather than acid.
I should
water.
point out
Just-
also that having Barbara kill the Animus is a nice change, because usually in these early stories, it's Ian that does the killing.
Yeah. So, good job.
He kills someone in the Aztecs, he kills someone in the Unearthly Child.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because he's the man and it was the 60s, they had him do most of the killing.
Yeah, that's basically why they had Ian there to do the heavy man lifting action stuff. But yeah, so everyone's friends. The Zarvi are like friendly now. The Optra and the Monoptra are getting along. Everyone's happy. Annie and Barbara and Vicky are relieved. And of course, our good friend Ian Chesterton is still pissed off about his fucking time.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's a very Lion King ending where it's like as soon as the big evil thing is dead, all the water comes back and the animals come back and everything's great again.
And bear in mind that the death of the Animus happens about the 50th or 60th minute, and there's still like 8 minutes to go at this point.
Yeah.
It's a lengthy wrap up, but that's basically what we need out of it. Everything's happy.
I liked Preston saying to the Opera, they're saying to her, could we have wings one day? I said, no, but your children might.
Neat.
So that's a nice little high note to end on.
Yeah.
And that's the web planet. They head off in the TARDIS
my God.
to another adventure. Well, who wants to go first?
Since I picked it, I should probably go last.
All right.
Okay.
Shall I then?
Go right
I'll
ahead.
Shamboya for it.
Wait, what was that?
She'll bro Shambo you for it.
I don't know how to do that online. I'll
Well,
just
Well, it's simple. Whatever Kat declares, she's the winner.
yeah.
Okay, Kat, go ahead.
I just had this idea of like, well, give me a couple of weeks. I'll run my way up there. I'll kick you in the nuts. And then you get to kick me in the nuts, and we'll see who stands up still.
Kat, be careful you're admitting to live on podcast here.
I think you have
Well,
a
no,
distinct
see, I'm
advantage.
guaranteed to win because I don't have any.
Yeah,
there you go.
You have a distinct advantage in this race.
Plus, I mean, I would go first as well, which is kind of a big.
Can't talk about the web planet now,
Please
please.
do, yes.
Holy crap! What a series!
Yeah.
It is. I would not say it's strictly a mind fuck, but it's more of a mind freak, where it's just like, what the hell am I watching? It starts off as like a preschool play where all the kids are in their cute little bug costumes and they're having fun and walking around, and then all of a sudden there's like parasites, and now that Frez has pointed it out, the cancer allegories and everything is like, holy shit, dude. But yeah, it's completely gonzo. It's fun to watch. As far as I can tell, there weren't any huge problems in it, which, great pick already. I like the characters. I mean, obviously you can't tell most of the moth people apart, but that's not really their own fault. But otherwise, I really enjoyed this. It was fun.
I'll say, yeah. I think I like the web planet. I know there are a lot of I respect who hold it in very high regard and call it high watermarks of the series. I don't know if I can go that far, but it's definitely unique, and there's definitely a few set pieces that really made me go wow, like in talking about them. Stuff like the moth people attack and the zombie and all that other shit.
Well,
At 6 parts, there are parts where it does kind of drag in places, but it is helped by the fact that it is batshit as almighty fuck in terms of the costume design and just the everything. It's got some very smart ideas about parasitic organisms and cancer allegories that I quite like. The writer was obviously trying to do something more than just, and then we just totally fuck with everybody in Britain. So it's a pretty good William Hartnell era story. It would be average, I think, if it weren't for the fact that it's so utterly gonzo. Perhaps the most gonzo thing the series has done. Even Underwater Menace doesn't come to this level of sheer what the fuckery. It might be a little too much. They might have needed to rein it back a little bit. Those stories like Underwater Menace I do like because they're gonzo, but they're not completely gonzo. The web planet is completely gonzo, for better or worse. So definitely interesting to watch and talk about again. So thank you for that, Rainiac. So close it out. What did you think?
Yeah, you're welcome. Here's what I thought. This serial started, I started watching it, and I thought, right, well, the writers were clearly on LSD, weren't they? By the end of it, I thought, oh, wow, I'm on LSD, aren't I? I didn't even take it. I'm somehow under the effects of it. Yeah, it's wild. This is absolutely wild. I don't think you can judge it by the usual good, bad, or indifferent scale.
You really can't.
There isn't much of a plot, and that's absolutely fine. Because it's just the craziest thing. And it put a huge smile on my face, even though my brain was tapping out by about part 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I was barely registering the chaos that was on the screen at that point. Yeah, the Zarbia are memorable. The Menoptera are memorable. The Animus is like a proto-great intelligence.
Oh yeah, we didn't touch on that.
It has a weakness to gold, which kind of predates the Cybermen by about what, 10 years?
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. It just feels like in its own way, it feels like a very important milestone for the show, actually.
13 million people sat down at tea time on Saturday. This shit.
And to be fair to those people, okay, so the zombie and the insects look absolutely ridiculous to us. They may not look ridiculous to the 60s.
Oh, I think they pretty much look ridiculous. That had charm.
Yeah, quite possibly.
To be fair, apparently there was a lot of flood lines, missed cues, equipment problems, and just trouble with certain costumes, especially the Zarbi ones. And it also says here on the Wikipedia page that some of the sets had not been delivered, and the carcinoma floor had not been painted.
Oh my god.
Well, I didn't know any of that. It didn't show, so...
Wild.
Yeah. And actually, it mentions the Zarbi who ran into the camera, where lighting and camera problems continued to plague the increasingly frazzled cast, and this time taping went 37 minutes beyond the schedule, and this was for Escape to Danger.
Oof.
Okay.
This was the day during which one of the Zarbi operators, his vision impaired by his costume, ran right into the camera.
So yeah, exactly what I said. They were like.
I'm glad they kept that in though, because it's like the stormtrooper that bangs his head on the door. You want that kept in.
Yeah.
God, I remember showing that to my cousin.
It's funny enough to keep it in.
He lost his shit when he saw that.
Without taking it, yeah, and then of course they ruined it with the special edition by putting like a comedy bonk effect.
You say ruined it, I say improved.
Well,
no,
that's open to interpretation.
Listen. There's only one special edition change I hate, and it's the new dance scene in Return of the Jedi.
Ugh.
Everything else I can live with. I can even live with Han Solo shooting first. That dance scene, I fucking hate
McClunky!
McClunky!
I can't even deal with the Han Solo thing either, because I mean, the whole point is that, he shot first. That's part of his character. Deal with it.
Yeah. Anyway, I picked the Web Planet. You know what? I think I did good.
Yeah, you did.
I think you did good too. I mean, you didn't pick a. Well, we can't say.
No, I gave us a fun, entertaining thing to talk about for about 18 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll catch you the same next week.
Let's find out. Kat!
Next week is our Halloween episode.
Even though we're doing this on Halloween week.
Yeah, but it's closer to Halloween than now.
That's true too. But it does fit considering that we've got like people dressed up as moths and shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, Kat, go for it.
Yeah, so I think since we're going to be essentially recording the next podcast around Halloween, we need something that's truly scary. Like, actually scary and terrifying and horrible in so many ways.
It's the twin dilemma again, isn't it?
No, because this time we're not doing one episode, or two, or three, or even four. Because this time, we are doing a complete total of 5 episodes.
Okay, that's good. And hang on. We're actually doing 5 episodes. You're not paying Sylvester McCoy to say, got...
No.
No, this time what we're going to do is we're not going to be talking about the episodes themselves. Huh? We're going to be talking about weeping angels.
I love this idea. So you pitched this to me on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Full disclosure, and I loved it. And I wasn't sure you were going to go ahead with it. I thought this might have been another bait and switch. I still haven't forgotten when you said, "Oh, you got a choice between having this patrol and another story that we're not going to mention."
Well, no, this is something I think where we could do this sort of maybe as an aside or maybe as part of Doctor Who reviews, where there are a lot of reoccurring monsters in Doctor Who. You know, the Daleks have changed over the years. Cybermen have changed over the years.
Sometimes.
This time I want, because, yeah, exactly. So this is one of those things where I wanted to take one of the quote-unquote newer Doctor Who monsters, which is truly scary for the time of Halloween. In this case, the Weeping Angels.
Right.
And we'll go ahead and rewatch their main episodes of Blink, the 2 parts of Time of the Angels, or Time of Angels, Flesh and Stone, and then The Angels Take Manhattan, and sort of discuss not only, their concept, but also how they evolved over those episodes.
Yeah, and they also make a couple of other cameo appearances that I'll bring up because I'm aware of them.
Right.
Off the top of my head, Time of the Doctor.
God Complex, Time of the Doctor, Hellbent, and they were also featured in the spin-off series Class.
That's what I was going to mention. They're in Class.
Okay. Well, I think we can do those.
We can mention those, but obviously because they don't feature the Angels.
Yeah, the main focus is on their time in Blink and Flesh and Stone, and also
I like that. Blink, Time of Angels, Flesh of Stone, and Angels Take Manhattan. I like that for some. Well, you said 5 though. What's the 5th one?
The 5th one is Time of the Doctor.
Well, no,
okay.
The 5th one is Time of Angels. Time of Angels is a 2-part story.
That's still 4.
But follow my math. Blink, Time of Angels, Flesh and Stone, Angels Take Manhattan.
There are 5 episodes. Blink, the 2-part story of Time and Angels,
Yeah.
Flesh and Stone, and then Angels Take Manhattan.
That's still 4.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Time of Angels is 2 different episodes that's part of one story. It's a 2-part story.
Yeah, it's still 4. Blink, part 1, part 2, and then Angels Take Manhattan.
Okay, when you watch a 2-part story that is put into 2 parts, do you watch a part 1, which is an episode, and a part 2, which is an episode?
It's still 4, whichever way you try to cut it.
I am going to fucking fly over there and kick you in the ass.
I don't understand your math either.
There's Blink. There are 2 episodes for Time of the Angels. And then there's 1 episode for Flesh and Stone and 1 for Angels Take Manhattan.
No. There's 1 for Time of the Angels.
The second part of Time of Angels.
Time of Angels is part 1. Flesh and Stone is part 2.
Well, whatever. I don't know. Look, I don't care, okay?
Yeah, I love this idea. I do love this idea, seriously.
This is a good idea. I like it.
It's something very different. We've not done it before.
I looked it up. It had Time of Angels, and then it had the other one right next to each other. It did not say that they were both, the one was one half and one was the other half, so fuck you guys.
Okay.
I can count. I just didn't do any research beyond figuring out, hey, what episodes were all the Weeping Angels?
You could have just counted them off on your fingers as well, but I'm not going to say that. Oh dear, I just did.
Good job.
Again, it just said on the page that it was the 2-parter of Time of Angels.
Yeah, fair enough.
I gotcha. Okay.
I'm not going to give you too much crap for that. I love the idea. It's brilliant timing because
fuck you.
Emily Cook, remember her?
Mm-hmm.
She's organising another Doctor Who watch along for Halloween.
Oh.
It's Blink.
Oh.
Hey, speaking of plugs, do we have another thing to mention?
Do we?
I don't know, do we?
This podcast is brought by Red Shadow. No.
No.
This podcast is brought to you by NordVPN. Or Audible, or Honey, or one of the other millions of other things that seem to plug every single thing.
Oh yeah, one of us has just become a Twitch celebrity.
I know, right? Wow, I can't believe I got a whole 5 views.
You're talking about.
Oh, not me.
Yeah,
Wait.
so we've gone from not plugging anything to the past 2 weeks plugging the hell out of things. So yeah, Kat is streaming now.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, unfortunately, I lost my job, due to some issues at work. So I got bored, like super bored, and I just decided, hey, why don't I just go ahead and start streaming some stuff?
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. So I started, I think last Thursday or something like that. I've been streaming Far Cry 5. We've gotten through 2 of the sections of the map. So, I've done that so far. If you're interested, make sure that you are above the age of 18 or anything like that, just in case, because Far Cry 5 does include things such as murder, cults, running over a bull in order to harvest his testicles, shooting a bull while it's getting freaky with a cow to harvest his testicles, and then
Jesus.
shooting a lot of people in the testicles.
You're Rochambeauing a lot of people in Far Cry 5.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not kidding about that.
I believe you.
There's a whole quest line where you have to go and harvest different kinds of bull testicles.
Wild. So where can we find this stream?
Well, you can find that at twitch.tv/concave usurper. I do try to put out tweets every day when I'm going to be streaming. I'm hoping to eventually come up with a consistent schedule. Pretty much right now, it's just whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
But I always make sure to put out several hours in advance exactly when I'm going to be streaming on my Twitter. And then I always put up a reminder about 5 to 10 minutes beforehand. And if you come early, you may be hearing some cool stuff as well. Just saying.
Sounds good.
Ooh. Nice.
I will certainly try and make those if I can.
Yeah.
And of course, if you'd like to follow us on Twitter, you can find us at ReviewsDoctor.
You can. Please do drop us a line on goexterminateyourself@gmail.com. I got it right this time. Yay for me.
And if you want to check out our rain at Rainiac.maniac,
Yeah.
Kat can be at Concave Usurper, and I can be found at Freezing in.
Yeah, I've tried for years to try and get just at Rainiac because it's so much simpler. But there's an egg that's been on Twitter since like 2007 that has that account.
Goddamn.
And try as I might, that goddamn egg will not relinquish it, so I'm stuck with Damaniac for the time being.
Anyway, Rainiac, why don't you say thank you?
Yeah, so this has been the Web Planet. We hope you've been thoroughly entertained.
I know I was.
Yeah, and a little creeped out in my case, but I think I did good for the most part.
Yes.
And join us next week when we take a departure from our usual fare on this podcast. And instead of talking about individual episodes, we talk about the Weeping Angels.
It should be a very interesting discussion.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't blink.
Woo!
Except do, because otherwise your eyeballs fall out.
And I mean, even if you do blink, as we established second episode, you're still fucked.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
But we'll get to that.
I'll have words to say about that. My God.
We'll get to that wonderful fun when we discuss the episodes and the monster. But
yes, the
say
4
goodnight,
episodes.
Rainiac.
So what did you say, Kat?
The 4 episodes, because I can count.
Exactly.
I think I've just been gaslit.
I thought you were going to pick the war games for a second there. You're like, not one episode, not two. But
Yeah, that would have been amazing, but I don't think she knows what the war game is.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Oh.
Patrick Troughton's last story. And
If we ever do that, I'm going to need either 4 hours or we split it in 2.
Yeah, a two-parter podcast would be best for that.
But yeah, it's not
Also,
the war games.
Honestly, if I wanted to gaslight you, Rainiac, all I would say is that next time we would instead finally do the Series 12 introspection. So.
If it had been my pick for Halloween, that would have been the joke. It's a real horror show. It's the Series 12 retrospective, but that's probably coming in November.
Right.
We'll probably take a break from the classic reviews for 1 week and do it.
Do I have to sacrifice my pick to make us do it?
No. Your pick will roll on after that.
Okay.
That won't be anybody's pick.
Okay.
Because I am very aware of the fact that the Christmas special is coming up in about 2 months' time.
And then we'll have no fucking Doctor Who for 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're purposefully avoiding Series 12 or anything like that, especially for the fact that by now we would have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why we're avoiding
y'all.
it.
I wrote down what I thought.
That's why we've been avoiding it.
I wrote down what I thought, motherfucker. Wouldn't have to.
He wins.
Yeah, but here's the question. Do you know what your notes refer to?
Yeah, I wrote reviews, not notes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He beat us. Jerry wins
Hey.
flawless victory. And on that note, thank you for listening to the Web Planet.
Actually, hey, Frez, is there any place that people can go to read your reviews online?
Why, yes, there is. You can find my reviews at Frezno's Raving Rants blogspot.com.
Hot shit, we're in. We don't have to watch it.
Round 2 goes to Kat, flawless victory.
Hey!
Well, that means everyone's a winner.
Except me, because I don't have anything to plug. I'm hoping I will have something to plug in the future, but for the time being, no.
I know something you can plug. Technically, it's on my Twitch, but you can plug that time that we watched Fatty Drives the Bus.
Yeah, we watched Fatty Drives the Bus, and your friend Chris basically just takes the whole thing, ripping me for being 15 minutes late.
Like, you linked that highlight in our chat. What is this? I do not remember this at all. And then as soon as I saw the titles, I was like, oh, fuck! The memories came back.
Yeah.
For those who might not know, basically there was a trauma movie that was on YouTube for free. I'm not sure if it still is. It might be called Fatty.
Oh, I hope it is. They need to see this.
So you can either choose to go watch that and then go to my Twitch and see the video where myself, Rainiac, my friend Chris, and our mutual friend Blaze all watch it as a live stream.
Was I there for this?
No, you weren't.
Unfortunately, no, you weren't. We did reference that you would have to watch it later with him.
Oh, okay. I've seen it. I know I saw it.
Yeah, we know you've seen it. Unfortunately, you just weren't there for the stream at the time.
I'll have to watch that again because it was very funny.
It really
Mm-hmm.
And your friend Chris was not having my ignorance about Fatty Drives the Bus at all.
So we should sign off. We're kind of...
Yeah, this is the third time I've tried to sign off, but thank you for listening to us talk about the Web Planet. Thank you two for being with me for this absolute wild ride. And join us next time for a departure from the norm as we take a deep dive into the Weeping Angels. Until then, nobody move. Until then, bye for now.
Whoop, 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 whoop. See you in court, bitch.